welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're working down 4213 in FC 26, a rock solid setup that gives you both defensive security and attacking firepower, with two CDMs protecting the backline but also stepping up to build up. A cam who scores, creates and links everything together, and a front three that's just pure danger, let's just say it this way. The left winger constantly making the run, the right mid cutting inside and attacking the box, and the striker who can score from everywhere, even outside of the box. This formation has it all, honestly, man. Add in two center backs locking down the middle and fullbacks covering the sides. You've got a balanced system that dominates both ends of the pitch. Let's dive into the custom tactics and instruction that make this 4213 so effective. With a bit of stumbling on counter and defensive approach from 50 to 60 and everyone. I'm putting this on 60. It works best. It's perfect, man. A little something on counter, it gives you everything with this formation. Yes, 4213 could be a little bit better, maybe a little bit better in terms of balance, because you have CDM, we have a count left and right. I mean, it's already by your players already make the run. Put this on counter, it's going to make it even better. Trust me, guys. Moving to the player roles, this striker being an advanced one, you want to score a lot of goals with this player, man. You want to take those shots from this player. You don't necessarily want a lot of movement from this. Maybe there are sometimes you can go for the passes to your like your right winger or something, if there's a chance to a little bit of movement behind the penalty area, but mostly you want to score goals with this player, okay? If your player has poacher plus or poacher plus, you can go with that one. Even target forward, you can go with that one if you want to go with the pluses, because the position really matters. With the striker, you don't want to go get out of position, like go to the left side, like outside the box or something. Most into the penalty area, Lewandowski being a plus. His position is great, man. He's got great finishing ability, so I go with a lot of goals with it. I score goals, not even low driven necessarily. I just take the shot with the right precision aiming, and man, he can score a lot of goals. Followed by a cam, okay? This player, I still want this player mostly behind the penalty area, getting to the box, but the reason I'm not putting this on shadow striker is I have two CDM. It's going to be a lot of gap between my caps to my CDM. I want to come a little bit short, covering the middle a little bit more, but still want this player to get inside, dribble pass, take those one-on-ones, get one-on-one and take those shots. Certainly score. I score a lot of goals with this player. I have Mati. Make sure you put someone that has good pace, good shooting ability, good agility overall, and you just want to score goals with this formation, with this player too. I don't use like players like Vitinha. I have Vitinha on my CDM. Don't play like Vitinha or De Bruyne or even like Bruno Fernandes. Okay, someone that's very good in terms of again shooting, finishing, good pace and good agile, good agility. You certainly benefit from this player very well. We have left winger on, winger versatile, right winger on inside forward balance. One side, okay, it's gonna be look something like this. One side, I want this player to my data, my CDM, my cap has. I'm looking for it. I suddenly see my left winger being there. I go for the passes. I do a little bit of movement, try to cut inside, even pass to my striker, try to take the shot. We go for crosses and everything. I can do a little bit of both at the same time. So making those covering one side, it forces my opponent to kind of like wide open, make the defense line wide open. Okay, there's one player that I have to cover that player, so kind of this player is just going to be unmarked almost all the time, but if not all the time, but a lot of times during the match, you just find this player on my. You can go for a beautiful through balls, the long through balls. So it's going to be very good. On the other side, I have my right winger, and instead for this player, we'll try to, even if he wants to make it run right behind the, my opponent's center backs, try to get himself one-on-one and score goals with this. Even he can still make the run, but I want mainly to be inside the box, receives a pass, take the shot. This is how it's going to be. Still, again, he's still going to make the run down the wing, but mostly inside the box, close to my striker and my cam, and score. If I have both of them on inside forward, there are time my defenders are very good job in terms of closing the center kind of like center passing lanes, you know, between the center back. You're gonna go through balls, but I can't. It's blocked. If I have one side on left, on you know, covering the side, which is being a winger, I have more space. I can do a bit more in terms of that one. So it gives me more in terms of attacking. My 2 CDM being a deep line playmaker build up. Guys, there are different variations, different playmaker defense, holding, even box crasher. If you want a solid, kind of like balanced, safe version, but still very good in terms of attacking and in terms of putting pressure on my opponent and good defensive side of it, this is the perfect thing for the CDM. Deep line playmaker build up does a very good job for this formation. Remember guys, you have CDMs and you don't have left mid, right mid, or center mid. So the distance from your CDM to your cam to your left winger or right winger is a lot. If you put this on deep line playmaker, you're gonna find this player putting himself like behind the box if there's a chance, even taking the shot with your CDM, going for the key through balls with your CDM. They put themselves in a very good position to actually feed those players, your right winger, left winger, cam, striker. You can go with this type of passes very well, and you can even cover the side, like cutting those passes if there's a chance. Remember, although they are CDM, you don't necessarily want this to be defensively crazy good. Okay, you still, because I have this on these two on deep line playmaker build up, because I still want to give a bit more to it, attacking, as opposed to being crazy defensively good. If we just start holding, yes, that's what it's going to be, but you're going to have a hard time solving it, especially when we go for the counter attacks. When you lose the ball from behind the penalty, there's just no one to cover. You can't has the ball, there's no one. If you have play on defense playmaker build up, they can offer you a bit more. But if you really want to go with holding, let's just say your play that you usually has holding plus or very good in terms of defending, you want defensive, very good defensive CDM, not necessarily like here Vitinha, Pedro, very good agility, man, and they're just fast. They can do a bit of a good job in terms of dribbling as well. So I recommend, you know, putting these type of play as deep line playmaker. Of course, build up. But if you have play that is very good in terms of defense, you want to go with holding, you can go with holding. But trust me, in terms of having support from starting the attack, and you want the support from your 2 CDMs, okay, because there are no behind your cam, there's just no one else, okay. You're gonna have a hard time unless you know what you do, unless you do a very good job in terms of L1 triggers and over just want a more defensive variation of this formation. But I recommend deep line playmaker build up. It's just, trust me, it's just gonna give you overall a good balance for it. If you by anything you thought you're gonna you considering a lot of through balls and everything, you can put both of them on holding, that could be a little bit more helpful. But deep line playmaker build up, obviously the perfect one for this type of setup of 4-2-1-3. Left back, right back, on fullback defense, 2 defenders on defender defense. Overall, the way you defend with this is just like my previous formation, 4-2-3-1, maybe like 4-3-3. All those time you have left back being a fullback, balance, covering the area, tracking back to get the ball, cutting those passes, being there, and the 2 center backs trying to cut again, covering the side. The 2 CDM, they're going to be naturally, they're going to be helpful in terms of being in front of your 2 center backs, the 2 CDM, although they are on deep line playmaker, but they're still CDM. They're going to do a helpful, they're going to be helpful in terms of covering the side, but do not expect those crazy defensive coverage. They do a good job in terms of covering, but defending, guys, is all manual. Okay, if you checked out my previous videos, my latest video before this video, guys, I have told you how to you can stop conceding more goals, the method of defending at the moment, next to 20. You can check that one out if you want. I told you guys, if you want to have a solid defense, work on yourself, okay, because the positioning and everything, yes, custom gives you the positioning, play the formation that has CDM, it can be very helpful in terms of defending, but still your opponent does a very good job. Let's just say your opponent does a very good job in terms of going down the wing, through balls. You have to, all of this, you have to have a good sense of anticipation, what he wants to do next. Go for the stand tackle, for the slide tackle, That's how you can get the best out of it. Okay, for now, full like balance here. Let's just say defense, versatile. The gap, the difference is not crazy. Okay, it's not crazy. There's still full like they are going to cover. If you put this on versatile, yes, you can get a little bit close both to the center back when your opponent is attacking, but sometimes you're gonna find this player like when you want to attack, you're gonna find this player making the run a little bit too, let's just say too, it's like something you triggered this player to move forward, but you didn't trigger. It gives a little bit more freedom both in terms of attacking. It gets a little bit more wide sometimes. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but overall it's not going to affect your gameplay. Okay, if you put this on defense, yes, it's going to make it better if you know if you want to close the side between your left back to the center back. But I would say I go with balance because I feel like I can manually put my left back, kind of like manually cover the areas between my center backs, left back to my center back. I can do this manually as well too. I recommend you must do the same thing, guys. Do defending, cover those areas manually. Trust me, you're gonna have better situation in terms of defending, because I'm sure most of you guys can do a very good job in terms of attacking and defending. It's all manual. If you look at the pro players, they do a very good job in terms of going for those tackles, stand tackles, and covering those areas, interceptions, mostly manually. The thing that can actually be very helpful is that the play that you're using, a play that has, let's just say, anticipate plus, yes, that can be best. They can help you in terms of manual defending. Okay, they can help you with that. That doesn't mean that the gameplay is going to magically do a crazy good job in terms of defending. Okay, guys? So bear that in mind with the goalkeeper. Being a goalkeeper defense, I told you guys, doesn't matter whichever one that has a plus and you go with that one, and it's not going to make a crazy difference. And as always, I'm gonna put the codes, guys, in the description end of this video. And that's the 4-2-1-3 formation, guys. Solid at the back, I would say. Creative in the midfield, ruthless up front with 2 CDMs, shielding and building as well. The cam pulling the strings, and the wingers making dangerous runs, and of course getting inside. And the striker just firing from behind the box, getting those one-on-ones, getting one-on-one, taking those shots and score. This setup is a complete package. If this breakdown helps you win more games and eventually score more goals, smash that like button, guys. Subscribe for more meta tactics, and drop a comment, guys. Please drop a comment on if there's any other formation you want me to cover, and of course how you're going to use this 4-2-1-3 in your squad. You want the defensive side, kind of like a more defensive variation of this, more attacking? Tell me in the comment section. I'm gonna tell you exactly what to do, exactly what setup you're gonna need to make this formation become the way you want this to be, kind of match the way you want to play with this formation. Thanks for watching AFC Land, where every tactic becomes meta, and I'll just catch you guys in the next one.